Alright, shalom, shalom. Before I do anything, I want to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai Bahashem Rachak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles, the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect that is scattered abroad. And with that, this is Brother Samak coming at you with another lesson. Lord will, this is edifying. So, honestly, this is another lesson that I was going to do because, I was bringing it out at camp, but I didn't get to finish. So I was going to just go over this as far as in the GMT. This is Isaiah 24, the 24th chapter, but I'm going to start at the 4th verse. It says, "The earth dries up and withers. The whole earth grows weak. Both earth and sky decay." And I'll just stop there real quick because the whole earth growing weak. This earth right now is weak, man. You know, the scriptures in say in Proverbs, what's that, 21, if I'm not mistaken, 21 or 22. Wait, hold on, let me see if I can get it. Twenty-two. Am I bugging? Wait, Proverbs. I'm bugging. Hold on. I don't know why I can't find that. I do it all the time. Oh, 29. It's 29. Yeah, This is Proverbs chapter 29 and verse 2. It says, "When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn." Right. So right now, as the scriptures say as well, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Right? And the wicked is ruling. Esau, Edom. Everything's weak. Everything's just going downhill, man. You know, at camp we was talking about the trees, how the trees are gonna rejoice in the day that we're gonna be ruling, and the trees are supposed to be rejoicing and everything, but it's not. The trees aren't rejoicing, man. The way Esau is treating the trees, the animals, everything, man. They want Esau Edom to go, man. So again, it's growing weak. It says, the people have defiled the earth by breaking God's laws and by violating the covenant he made to last forever. Right. A covenant he made to last forever. And I'll say this, that the kingdom to come, the new covenant that we're gonna have, right? It is gonna last forever, man. This kingdom is gonna last forever. This kingdom that is to come, the new heaven, right? So this heaven right now is gonna be going away, right? So but the next one is gonna last forever because it's going hand in hand with the precept to go with that is Daniel 7:18. The saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever and ever and ever. Right? It says, "So the Most High has pronounced a curse on the earth. Its people are paying for what they have done. Fewer and fewer remain alive." Right, man? You seeing people dying left and right, especially from diseases and all these crazy things that's going on, man. The food is all messed up. We was talking about this, man. The whole earth is all messed up. It says the grapevines wither and wine is become scarce. Everyone who was once happy is now sad. Right? Again, going hand in hand with what I just read in Proverbs 29, you know? And the scriptures talk about there's a time and a purpose for every season under heaven, roughly paraphrasing. That's Ecclesiastes, the 3rd chapter, and the first verse on down. And it says in there that, well, I can get that real quick. Ecclesiastes 3 verse 1. To everything there is a season and a time, and time to every purpose under heaven, right? A time to be born, a time to die, and a time to plant, and a time to pluck up that which is planted. A time to kill and a time to heal. A time to break down and a time to build up. A time to weep and a time to laugh. A time to mourn and a time to dance. And that's the point. So a time to weep and a time to laugh. Nobody's laughing, you know. The day, like, it's not like it used to be. I'll say even like back in, you know, the early 2000s, you know, times are different. In the 90s, right? Times were different even then. So what more now? It's just getting worse and worse and worse, man. It says a time to mourn and a time to dance, right? We're in the time of mourning, man. You know? There's nothing to be celebrating about. You know, Jake, and I'll even say this, Jake not with that wicked holiday, that pagan holiday of Christmas, right? Even Christmas ain't Christmas anymore. I remember my my family, remember my sister or whatever, crying and whining because Christmas isn't Christmas anymore. This is just doesn't feel right. She said, but because my family still celebrates it or whatever, but that's on them. Hey, that's our people for you, you know. But that's neither here nor there. But yeah, man, you seeing all these people, you know, celebrating the holidays and everything like that, and yet here it is, you know, it's just getting worse and worse as far as like not even caring anymore, man. You know, our people are going worse, weak. I can say this: it's making our people weak to where we're obese. We're turning, and man, I'm telling you, this June, aka the Pride Month or whatever, we seeing a lot of you know, effeminate men, you know, and it just goes to show, man, that it's just getting worse and worse, man, especially when it comes to the men, you know. We're lazy. It's just sad, man. But going back, it says everyone who was once happy is now sad, and the joy of music, of the harps and drums has ceased. And right, real quick, a little talk about that too. We was talking about music, you know, how music is just beautiful. Well, no, music was beautiful back then, but now music is not good anymore. You know, even in the 90s and everything like that, 90s music or early 2000s, you know, it was actually pretty good music that you can listen to. But nowadays, ain't no good music, man. You know, it's just demonic, and it's just negativity. It's just bad. It's just bad, man. You know, especially specifically when it comes to our people, you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. You know, especially you so-called blacks, man, because you're the ones that's starting this whole thing, man. You know, stealing another man's woman, talking about drugs, talking about, you know, all this crazy crap. You know, nobody wants to hear that, man. And it puts spirits on people, right? And what happens? They end up trying to unalive themselves, man. So, it says, there is no more happy singing over wine. No one enjoys its taste anymore. Right. And I'll even say this. When it comes to the fruits, when it comes to drinks, the wine, you know, hey, when brothers was talking about wine too, man, we're gonna be drinking wine and it's gonna be pure, man. We're gonna be going, we're gonna be drinking good, man, in the days, man. Can't wait for that. It says, in the city, everything is in chaos, and people like lock themselves in their houses for safety. Right? You see that now, man. Jake, when it comes down to it, all the time they're inside, man. You see kids inside more than ever now. You don't see them outside playing ball. You don't see them they're inside, room door closed, playing video games, you know? You don't see anything like that. And it's only gonna get worse, you know? Worse and worse. It says people shout in the streets because there is no more wine. Happiness is gone forever. It has been banished from the land. Right. Happiness is gone. What the heck is happiness? Nobody's happy, you know? They're miserable. You see women more depressed than ever, women crying out and everything, and it's only gonna get worse as well for them because they saying that crazy things like they don't need a man and all this crazy crap, man. But yeah, we'll see when this destruction hits, man. Who's gonna be having the last laugh, man? It says the city is ruined, Slakia is in ruins, and its gates have been broken down. Right. It says this is what will happen in every nation all over the world. And right, it's not even affecting America. It's actually affecting everybody, man. You know, everybody's getting affected. Because I remember talking with a person in New Zealand, which is wild. But yeah, basically, their stuff is going up and everything like that. All this stuff is going up. It's just gonna get worse and worse. Everybody's gonna be affected when it comes down to it. It says it will be like the end of harvest. Who says when the olives have been beaten off every tree, and the last grapes picked from the vine. Mmm. Um. So yeah. I mean that's pretty much it. Yeah, I just wanted to stop there, but that main thing, man. This is what I wanted to bring out of camp, cause this is happening, man. It's happening now. You see our people just straight. What's the word for it? Getting worse and worse. Getting lazier and lazier and more wicked and wicked. You know, our people. Scriptures say that they have overseen the deeds of the wicked, man. They're more wicked than the wicked, you know? So it's just like you see these things and all these things happening in the world, man. Wouldn't you want the world to be destroyed? Wouldn't you want the world to kind of be start over? You know? I would. You know? Real quick. Let me see something. I want to see in Revelations real quick, man. Because I was actually reading this at camp. Actually, wait, let me go back to Romans 20. Let me see. Um, Yeah. I mean, I'll read a little bit of this and see where it goes. This is Revelations 20 and verse 11. And I saw a great white throne, and white meaning pure, right? It says, and him that sat on it, from whose face the earth and the heaven that fled away, there was no there was found no place for them. Right, the heaven that fled away is America. This kingdom, right? This kingdom here, man, was the heaven that fled away, because again, heaven just means to be above. Okay, so heaven, this is a heaven, right? But this isn't our heaven. This is Esau, Edom's heaven, right? Because he's the one that's above, but our heaven is coming. Okay? I saw the dead, small and great, stand before the Most High, and the books were open, and another book was open, which is the book of life, and the dead were judged out of those things which were written in the book according to their works. See that? And that's a cut to these Christians saying that you don't really need to have works or anything like that. Yes, you do. Okay? Faith without works is dead. Okay? So he's going to be judging you. Judging who? Judging according to what? The law, man. It says the sea gave up the dead which were in it, and death and hell delivered up the dead which were in them, and they were judged every man according to their works. See that? And every man according to their works. So what works have you done? You know, that's what you have to ask yourself, man. Do you have any works to back up, back yourself up? You know, it says, and death and hell were cast into the lake of fire. This is the second death, right? Death and hell. So this is a cut as well to the Christians as well. That Roman Catholic doctrine where it talks about a dude with a pitchfork. Hey, you burn forever or whatever, and yeah, it's wild. But there's no such thing as the hell that you are thinking of, where a guy that is down there and you're burning forever. Because if that's the case, then why does it say death and hell were cast into the lake of fire? It makes no sense. Death is death in itself, to where, again, the scripture where it says, because we're going to defeat the sting of death. I'm going to do a real quick one. Let me see if I can find it. I can go, where is thy sting? Here we go. 1 Corinthians 15 and 54, it says, so this incorruptible shall have put on incorruption, and this mortal shall put on immortality. See that? And that's when we're going to get the new bodies. The moment of the twinkle of an eye, we shall be changed. Right? In the last trump. Right? So, we're going to be changed. It says, then shall be brought to pass the saying that is written, death is swallowed up into victory. See that? It's swallowed up. Right? O death, where is thy sting? O grave, where is thy victory? The sting of death is sin, and the strength of sin is the law. So at the end of the day, again, we're going to overcome death, man. Death itself. Okay? So death, no more death, aka the issuer of death, right? The only reason why we are dying and we are sinning is because Esau, Edom himself, okay? So Esau, Edom, once he's out, that's it, Once we're back in our rulership, that's it, Revelation 20. So this again, death and hell were cast into the lake of fire. This is the second death. What was the first death? The first death was what? The flood, right? It says, whosoever was not found written in the book of life was cast into the lake of fire. Okay? And then this is chapter 21. It says, in verse 1, it says, and I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth were passed away. Right. They're passed away. And this is a new heaven, which means what? Refreshed. So it's refreshed. And this needs a refreshing, man. It says, for the first heaven and the first earth were passed away, and there was no more sea. I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem. And as the brothers were going into our camp, that Jerusalem is a people before it was a place. Okay? So, it was a people first. It says, coming down from the Most High out of heaven. Right? And this scripture in particular, too, when the brothers brought it out, as far as this goes hand in hand with the Lord's Prayer. Let thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Right? So earth is going to come down. Heaven's going to come down on earth. It says, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. I heard a great voice. And right, that goes into the virgins, right? Bidding them to the marriage, right? We're going to be married. Everything like that. The spiritually married, everything like that. What's it? Going into the virgins and everything like that. So, and a marriage is it's basically like a covenant. And we made a covenant with the Most High, with Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. So that covenant, which is an agreement, right? And this covenant is only for the children of Israel. Okay? You so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. So it says, and I heard a great voice out of heaven saying, behold, the tabernacle of the Lord is with men, right? And these men consist of the you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Okay? And this is a cut to the Christian church as far as the whole thing about women and everything. No, the Lord is only dealing with men. Okay? It says that in Ezekiel as well. The flock of my pasture is with men. Roughly paraphrasing. So again, the tabernacle of the Lord is with men, and he will dwell with them, and they shall be his people, and the Most High himself shall be with them and be their power. And that's possessive. Okay? And that's the new heaven and new earth, man. That's going to be coming. Okay? The saints of the Lord shall take the kingdom and possess it forever and ever and ever. And that's it, man. So, yeah. So, with that, I pray that you've been edified. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rachak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who do rule well. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect that is scattered abroad. And with that, I say Shalom.